I'm just so blown away by the students here and the program and how it's grown. I can't believe FMS is hitting 10 years. Yeah, I was just thinking as I'm walking through Barnum, like, oh my god, Barnum used to be where biology used to be. The equipment that we could rent for our senior projects back in the day for CMS were like flip cameras. I didn't even have an iPhone when I was on,
I'm gonna pass you the flip camera.
Oh yeah. This is a newer version of the flip cam. My flip cam was like, I think 5 generations older than this one. But this is a flip cam for anyone who doesn't know what it is.
And my boss at the time, a woman named Robin Gittleman, said, well, pitch me. What is it? I said, I want to start a filmmaking program. And I explained that, we have all this old equipment in the closet nobody uses. I want to do this digitally. And she said, let's go talk to the dean. So we went and talked to the dean, and he got a bunch of alums together to fund a chair in film and media studies, and they named it in his honor, these alums. So it was the Saul Gittleman Chair in Film and Media Studies. So we had a chair. The program began, and it was housed in the experimental college where I was still working. They had offices upstairs in our kitchen, and then we already had a lab in the basement.
So this was primarily the ExCollege, and they were very generous to us to let us use space in this building. So, but we should go upstairs after you. So this was the program administrator's office. They've completely transformed this into a lounge now. But this is where Gina's office was, Gina O'Connor, and her predecessors. So this is where Natalie Minnick had her first office. And Natalie did a heroic job of clearing out the basement and buying all the film equipment and arranging it down there. So students would come here to check out film equipment.
I think the FMS program has grown by building community. One of the things I'm proudest of in looking at the program is that we really foster connections, we foster collaboration, and over the years I've just seen that develop more and more.
The nerve center was here, and then this was my office. They've done it up now. Yeah, spent a lot of time in here. Because it was just me, really. I was the only faculty member. I knew all the students. And a lot of them were my advisees. There was one point where I had like 50 advisees.
And we interviewed everybody because we wanted to make sure we were going to get the right person. Came down to a number of finalists, and then the committee decided that Malcolm was the one. And I will tell you, he won the job because the students liked him. We had students involved.
Faculty and students alike, everybody's just, they're smiley and they're cheeky. I feel like it's sort of like a holy trinity, is like practice, learning, and goofiness.
I mean, I would say like it's definitely the community. One of the best things that I found in this department was definitely the community, the people that I ended up making films with.
We're largely, actually, we haven't changed much since 2015. I mean, we have added people like, for example, Tasha Oren, who teaches television. So we didn't have television when we first started.
Yeah, I think collaborative. That's always the word.
Collaborative is a really important,
Yeah, the way they always work together, and they were always working on each other's projects and helping each other and talking to each other and kind of just making like the community a better place. Yeah.
And they seem to intrinsically understand that it's about kind of doing work together.
Yes, the teamwork.
And that they work as hard for each other as they do, maybe sometimes harder than they work for themselves. It's amazing to hear people talk about their projects and always use we.
Yes, yeah, and always just seeing the same names pop up on the end credits at the end, right? Like you sit there watching and you're like, oh, that person, oh, that there it is again.
Yeah.
It's so great to like get closer with your peers through just the experience of working together. So I'd say like never say no to and ask for help. Yeah, meet a great community.
Work on as many senior projects as you can right from freshman year. You make so many connections, and I worked on projects my freshman year, and I'm still in contact with those people even though they've graduated. The FMS community, I think, is really special and different from other majors at Tufts because you are getting like real life work experience with your classmates throughout your whole 4 years. And so making sure that you're involved in all these projects is a really, really great way to stay involved and meet a ton of people.
And now we have Matt Rappaport, who teaches digital, AI, all that kind of stuff, which we certainly didn't have.
I think, my first perspectives in coming here were the kind of tightness of the student community and the ease at which students seem to be relating to their faculty. It felt very caring and supportive of both a kind of intellectual life, but also the balance of being a creator, making things.
It was comforting in a way, right? To know that people were looking out for me and people really wanted the best for me. And I think that's just uniform across the FMS program.
So I was a freshman in 2016, so graduated in 2020. And I signed up for film class as my sort of arts credit, not knowing anything about film at all, and had Howard as my professor and was just like, what? This is so fun. I get to write stories with my friends. I get to learn about cameras. I think what you just said about bridging art and science, that's sort of my whole brain.
We are a humanities program, arts program, but we sit on that cusp where we're related to technology. So for them, that's kind of a bridge they want to make as the future of the university.
Yeah, working with artists and scientists to kind of figure out how they're bridging that gap between cutting edge art and science.
And that kind of leads back to, the way that we started with the intro courses here, because it was always my bias, call it what you will, that anyone can pick up a camera and shoot, and some people are naturals. But for the 99.5% of the rest of us, it's much better if you can understand what these machines do and why they do them and what they're capable of and what their limitations are. And that gives you creative control in order to try to maximize your vision. And that's the way we design the courses.
And Tufts taught us curiosity and how the world worked and how to be an engaged citizen in this world. And as a baseline, to be a filmmaker, to be a storyteller, to be a vehicle of connecting people in this world through stories and art. I think you need to add, fundamentally also be someone who is deeply curious and constantly growing and constantly willing to be creative in all these different forms. So I feel every Tufts alum that I found in the wild who now ended up in film has some kind of backstory like mine, where I started as an economist or a biologist and I found my way here, and all the pieces that didn't quite make sense when I was an undergrad at Tufts have now come together in such a beautiful way that just feels so right.
This was the equipment room.
Yeah, this was the equipment room. So Natalie spent the summer, I think, of 2016 clearing out this whole basement and setting it up with all the equipment. So, yeah. We've come so far.
We've come up out of the basement.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.